Hello everyone, Mitchell here. Today I'm going to be talking about some important programming techniques, debugging and breakpoints, in part 3 of my YouTube tutorial series. Debugging is a crucial programming technique which has been covered only briefly, if at all, so far at your time here at ASU. I hope to introduce some concepts that you can utilize throughout the semester and throughout your career. I'm going to go ahead and get started by talking about some C-line configuration options. However, users using other IDEs will be able to follow along in a few seconds. Alright, so here is the project I created in the last video. I went ahead and simulated an error in the hopes of showing you how to fix it in case you experience the same error. After trying to run the same configuration I made in the last video, I'm receiving no such file or directory for the input.txt, which is clearly here in my project folder. Although it's here in my folder, if we check the remote host, we can see that it's missing. We can fix this simply by right-clicking the file, going to Deployment, and Upload to ASU. Great, now if we try to run it again, we'll see the CSC310 output. Some additional configuration steps that will help is if we go to Run and Edit Configurations, we want to make sure our files are automatically uploaded to the server whenever we run our program. Before launch, we can go to Add and upload files to remote host. Now we can select ASU, hit the plus, and select our video or our project folder here. Great. Another way to do this is to go to Tools, Deployment, and select Automatic Upload. However, the first will be better for the server, as automatic upload will use more bandwidth by uploading the files after each change. Alright, now let's talk about debugging. I'm going to go ahead and start by creating a new function. I'm going to go here to the top and create a recursive function, and it's going to take in a parameter I. Now here's a stopping condition. When I equals 1, let's go ahead and return. Otherwise, we can recurse, and we're going to subtract 1 from I. Great. Let's go ahead and pass in 4 and see what happens. If we run our program, we can see that we didn't receive any output. It's clear this cout line was never reached. However, it's difficult to be able to figure out what went wrong without any sort of information. It's clear here what's happening in our small script. However, in a larger program, it may be difficult to be able to locate the issue. So let's use debugging to figure out what's wrong with our program. If we go to Run here and View Breakpoints, we want to go ahead and check this. Make sure the 2 boxes are checked. A breakpoint is essentially a stopping point in your program, which will allow us to inspect different values and see what's going on. Now, if we rerun the program, we'll actually see nothing has changed. However, if we debug the program, hopefully we will see it stop when the exception is thrown. There we go. Looks like we have a segmentation fault. A seg fault is going to be the bane of your existence as a CSE 310 student. And this will help you hopefully fix some of these issues. So here's the debugger here. We can see here on the left we have the stack frame, and we have quite a bit of function calls. Every single time a recursive function is called in this manner, it adds to the stack frame. So even though we pass forward, we have quite a bit of calls which overflowed the memory allocated to the stack frame. If we look here, we can see the value of I in each of these calls, and the value is 3, which is not good. Looks like we have an issue. And I actually have so many calls here, I can't even display them all in this one window. So I'm going to go ahead and stop debugging, and I'm going to go ahead and place a breakpoint right here, and we can track the program and see what's going wrong. Now we can see main here called recursion, and then we're stopped here inside recursion. If we click resume program, we can continue until the breakpoint is reached again. We can see a second recursion call. So that's weird. I is 3 here in the first call, however in the second remains 4. And if we keep going in the program, we can see that I is not being decremented properly, as it remains 3 in all the previous frames and 4 in our current frame. This is easily fixed by changing this to the other side. Now we can restart the debugging session here, and hopefully we should see our output. And there we go. Looks like it worked. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to use some more debugging features, such as watch statements. I'm going to go ahead and reverse this string. So this is not too hard. We can create a new string here, and then we can loop through the input string in a for loop like so, and then simply, actually I'm going to change this so we start at the end here. So we want to do I is greater than -1, and then I equals input.length -1. Great. Now we can simply concat the last character of the input to the reverse string. Let's go ahead and throw in some breakpoints and see how this works. Alright, so alright, great. Looks like we had an issue there, but after restarting it, it's working fine now. So we can see I starts off at 6. We can see the input statement, and we can also see the reverse string here, which is empty. Now if we go one more step, it should add 0 to the reverse string. There we go. Alright, so now I is 7. So this isn't good. This is going to cause another exception or access invalid memory. So I need to change this here. And we can restart. Great. So we can see it starts off empty. There we have the 0 added, then the 1, and then the 3. Looks like it's working great. So when we are debugging, we not only have the variables panel here, we can also add our own watch statement. I'm going to go ahead and hit this plus here and show you how it works. So we can evaluate any expression here, such as, does 5 equal 3? No. We can also do anything like this. Or we can access variables. So say you have an array, and we actually do have an array here because we have a string, which is just an array of characters. So we can access individual values like so. So there I'm accessing the first character, which is the 0. And then I'll show you how I can also access values of the original string as well. Alright, now we can go ahead and put a breakpoint here, and then we can verify. Great. Looks like this reverse string is in fact CC310 reversed. So it looks good. Now let's go ahead and print it out instead of the original input, and let's run our program and see what happens. Looks great. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at mbucklew@asu.edu or leave a comment on YouTube. Thanks again, and have a good rest of your day.